A couple of months ago, I started preparing everything for the build of my future shed. In order to create a steady base for the concrete slab, I took out about 25 centimeters of soil in an area of around 18 square meters. That was a lot of soil, let me tell you. After that, I started filling it back up with gravel and compacting it. It is now finally time to continue with this project. Finally. Let's go! It's starting! It's finally happening. I am building the wooden form for the concrete slab. So I have all my boards here, have my tools here, and now it's up to me to put that thing together. Since I'm still fairly new to this whole type of work, I think it will take me quite a while to figure it all out. And the most important part is that I choose the right measurements for the base, basically, because the roof is higher than the base, and I want to make sure that it's just in between, so a bit bigger than the base and a bit smaller than the roof, so in case of a lot of water, there's a bit of protection there. But minimal, but it's there. Okay, some paperwork first. So that's the most important part. So the bottom, yes, the bottom is 2 meters and 89 centimeters. And as you can see, the top of the roof is 3 meters. So that's a bit of a difference here. So I think I wrote down that I wanted to do 2 meters and 95 centimeters as a base. So it's about 5 centimeters, well, 6 to be precise, bigger than the base, and still 5 centimeters smaller than the roof. And the same goes with here. It's 5 meters and 90 centimeters, and I will go for 95. And then it's still a bit bigger than the base and smaller than 6 meters and 2. Okay, did that make sense for you? I hope so. So one tricky part though is that the wooden slats are 2 meters and 50, so we'll have to have another part of another one to make a full side for the small side, basically. And then 2 meters and 50, I will need 3 basically to make up for the long side. So I can reach 5 meters and 95 centimeters. So my only thought that I had, which I have not found the answer to, is to where to make the cut. So the concrete will be pushing against this wooden form, so in order to make sure that it doesn't pop open, obviously I will do a lot of attachments on this side, but I was also thinking, does it matter where you cut the pieces? Like, is in the middle the worst part because there's maybe the most pressure, or is it on the sides, or I really don't know. So I'm just gonna wing it. Okay, first cut made. I never used this one before. It's a baby machine, but it does the job. I just had to figure out a few things, but almost online. So this is 1 millimeter too big. So I'll make sure that this one is a bit shorter on this side. Okay, it works. That's the most important thing. Those are the little corner pieces to attach the sideboards. A little blocky. Obviously they're not in the inside because that would mean there's no cement there. So they will go on the outside. So that's why this side is longer as well. Well, it's not attached obviously, but and then I just have to make sure that the measurement here is correct. Here the extra part, I think I calculated 10 centimeters on each side extra. So it's plenty. And then I will just have to attach this corner block here, both sides, maybe more like this. Well, actually, I don't know, does it matter? You know what? It doesn't, I think. Here we'll attach it from this side, here from this side. Oops, my screws are not big enough, I think. From this side it's not a problem, but whoopsies. Well, like this for sure, but I would need a bigger screw here. Let me see if I have another block. That might be a bit too big. Well, but it needs to be strong, so I might just have to get bigger screws. We'll see. Oh, or does it matter if I put screws in from this side, from the inside? No, it shouldn't, because it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. So I'll make it from this side. That should be okay. Because there's a plastic on this side anyway, so totally fine, I think. So it's hard to see, but this is the attachment piece. This board and this board are the boards for the sides, and the board underneath is just for stability to give me an even ground. So that's the attachment is done properly. Okie dokie, let's do this. It should be stable enough, and I will have some stakes along the board as well, so that's the second reinforcement basically. I think it's alright. So I'm not sure if it catches on camera, but this wooden board is a bit wonky, so the entire wall of the concrete slab will not be straight also, obviously. I will try to fix it a bit with the stakes that I will put into the ground, but I can only do so much. The board is wonky, That's why also I calculated 5 centimeters more for the concrete base, just to be prepared for stuff like this. And even if it's a bit off the measurements, it's still enough for the construction of the shed. So that's good at least. I'm not super happy about this side, but the other ones look quite alright. I mean, it's not gonna be perfect, but yeah, that's the only one that is a bit off. So my last job for today is to attach the boards to that connection piece. How did I decide to do it? Like this, I think. Yes, like this. No, like this. Wait, I forgot. No, I think like this. Yes, like this. And then basically that's it for today, I think. Tomorrow I will start to construct the stakes. I have my axe, so I will cut and sharpen some wooden slats so I can have some stakes. I will put some in the ground, I think, some maybe in here. I don't know, I will figure out the constructions. I'm really lucky because I have a wall of stones here, which are gonna help me, I think, stabilize some pieces. I have this cement pillar as well. Yeah, I think I will find a solution on how to stabilize this even more. But now I just have to attach this and then measure out the correct measurements and then attach the other piece, and I will do the same obviously on the other side as well. So the tricky part now is to level everything out and also to make sure that the sides all have the same length, because as you can see the board is quite movable. So I just have to make sure that it is as straight as possible. And yeah, and then the next step also, I started doing those stakes, which will be a yeah, kind of a reinforcement for this board. Once the concrete is here, this will obviously create a lot of pressure against those boards, and those stakes will help the boards to stay intact and not to break. I will also have those types of reinforcements that will go like here. So this is also an additional pressure point for the concrete pushing over here. So this will help as well, and then hopefully it should be okay. It's not a lot of concrete in height. It should be okay, I think, in terms of the pressure against it. But yeah, again, it's my first time doing this, so so I'm being extra careful and putting a lot of stakes in, and not to have to worry about it once we pour the concrete, which is happening tomorrow, by the way. Oh yeah, I didn't give you I totally forgot. So there were a lot of options, or not a lot of options actually, on how to do this concrete. First I thought about getting it delivered in those, big trucks with the concrete mixer, it looks like. And unfortunately they cannot make it up my driveway, so that was not possible. And then I got a few offers on having it done, which in my opinion was not fairly priced and too expensive. So guess what? I'm doing it myself. So later today I will get my load of gravel, sand and cement delivered, and tomorrow will be the day when we'll be mixing it. And yes, I'm sure it will be a long day, but in a way I'm happy to do it myself, because it's just that much more special if you do it yourself, and I can learn along the way, which is pretty nice as well. But before that's happening, I need to finish leveling it out and putting the reinforcements, and and then of course the plastic. Once I've finished with that, I put down the plastic and the actual reinforcement mesh, so I have to do that as well, but that's a pretty easy, quick job, so that's okay. But that's the most important step, so that the concrete slab base is not as wonky. And that's how I do my little pose, or something like that at least. Here I am putting down some more gravel onto the sides. Well, first of all, to give more stability to the boards so that they cannot really move to the outside, and also putting some more gravel inside where there was not enough. You could see that earlier when I put down the sideboards, that there were some, empty spaces in between, and that's what I'm doing. And what I'm also doing is the gravel dance. I called it a gravel dance. So my gravel is here. I've got the cement bags over there. The sand will be delivered later today. We'll put it straight here. I will now put down the plastic tarp and then do the reinforcement mesh. And then I think that should be good. I will do a few extra stakes just in case something happens once we pour the concrete. I think it's better to have it ready just in case, and then I can quickly hammer them in when I see, that the wood is maybe being pushed too far in one side or something. And then I have to rest because tomorrow is gonna be the big work day. But this is where I leave you for this week's episode. Next week you will see the rest of the work going on for the concrete slab, including laying down the plastic, putting down the reinforcement, and obviously the most exciting part, pouring the concrete. Fun days ahead. Let's go. See you next week. Bye.